At this time, China wants to sell 2 nuclear reactors to Pakistan, which, given their proliferation record, is a terrible idea. This is against the NSG guidelines. America has opposed this publicly, but the concern in India is America isn't doing enough actively to prevent the sale from going through.
We want to see India have a strong bilateral relationship with China. We want to have a strong bilateral relationship with China. Just as you and your leadership, India, is seeking a strong bilateral relationship or a better bilateral relationship with Pakistan, these individual relationships are very important in this region and in this world. Let's think a little bit and talk a little bit about how both the U.S. and India are seeing China and an emerging, rising China. We had our chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Admiral Mike Mullen, here just a few months ago. And he said something very interesting that again brings in to common perspective and strategic understanding, common interests between India and the United States. He said, I've moved from being very curious about China's rise to concerned about China's rise. And I hear that more and more from India. Concern about where China is building ports around India, concerns about the border, north and east for India. As you saw, President Obama and Secretary Clinton decided to do something, I think, in the interests of democracies all around Asia and forward-leaning in terms of an expression about our commonalities with Japan and Korea and Malaysia and Vietnam, is to say that there are territorial disputes going on in the South China Sea. They decided to send the George Washington aircraft carrier into that region to send a signal that the United States is with other democracies and with our partners in this area. So again, the United States and India, I think, are looking at Asia and the region in some common ways, but we both want a strong relationship with China.
But at the same time, on the 17th of November 2009, in a joint statement signed between the presidents of China and the United States, there's talk of China playing a role in promoting peace and stability in South Asia. Now that's a statement that's been received with a lot of apprehension back home. What role does the United States see China play in South Asia?
Well, let's move on from that and correct what has happened since then. Secretary Clinton has said that she has real concerns about what China might do with respect to sales of nuclear equipment to Pakistan. She's been blunt and targeted and specific about this. I don't think there's been any doubt about what her message is there. I think you'll hear President Obama talk about what India's role is in this region.
Pakistan will be looking to up the ante on Kashmir around President Obama's visit. Now, President George Bush was very clear that Kashmir is a bilateral issue between India and Pakistan. There is concern on whether some of his original comments, leading to that concern, whether President Obama still sees America play an active role in mediating on Kashmir.
President Obama sees this as an internal issue for the people and the government of India. We regret some of the loss of life that has taken place up in that region over the last several months, but this is an issue reserved for India and certainly is something that on a bilateral basis that India and Pakistan will negotiate at their pace and their scope when they see fit.